Hello, welcome to Headlights with Delisa, and I am Delisa. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. In today's story, I have one of those reasons as to why relationships don't usually work out, and this is draining. I wish someone could share the solutions to this, but I do not want to waste any more time. I just want us to get into it. After 2 years of dating, I asked my girlfriend to move in with me, and she brought her son from a previous relationship. I welcomed the child, but I'm starting to regret my decision. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's find out as to why he's regretting. The child's father frequently shows up at odd hours, often without prior notice. Now that's disrespectful. While I understand his desire to see his son, his lack of respect for our home and schedule is frustrating. He hoots at the gate, demanding to see his child without a prior greeting, or rather, proper greeting. What? I've tried addressing this issue with him, but he hasn't changed his behavior. No, man. There's nothing difficult like what I've realized in my experience is that some people are so stuck and so aged, like they're stuck and aged in their ill manners. The fresh air. They are so stuck and aged in their manners. So therefore, it's those kind of people where even if you sit down and communicate their disrespect or their ill manners, depending on what it is, they just wouldn't budge. Like they just wouldn't understand. Like it's a waste of your time to communicate with them that what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is hurting me. When you do this and that, you hurt me. I do not appreciate your this. They just don't get it. So it's a waste of time. So what you have to do, it's more of like enforcing boundaries. And when you are caught up in a situation with them, it's always safe to just diffuse it by just walking away. Do not entertain them because, like the old saying, respect a fool to avoid noise. But how do you respect a fool to avoid noise at your own place, at your own territory? Like this is his home. He comes to his place to disrespect him. How do you enforce boundaries? Because should you think of enforcing boundaries like him, he might feel guilty that, but at the end of the day, this man is here to see his child. This man is here to see his son, of which it's just an excuse to just say, I'm here to see my son, it's my son. But you don't have to disrespect me because the man you are disrespecting is the same man that is providing a shelter for your son, the one you're failing to do so. He's the one who's feeding your son, the one you're failing to provide. Like he's doing all this thing, is providing protection for this child, a stable home for this child, something, or rather, the things that you are failing to do. And the thank you that you're giving him already is just a slap on the face. It's a disrespect. You do not do that. And as for the baby daddy, there's no any other way we can read this except that it's a disrespect. It's just a pure disrespect. I don't understand that he's trying to show this new man that, what, you might be with the lady, but this is my child and I'm always going to show up. Or maybe he's trying to show this, send a message to the baby mama that, what, even though you move on, I'm stuck with you. Like I'm stuck, you are with me for the rest of your life. I'm always going to be there. And the excuse is, I want to see the child. And I also understand this guy's regret, as he says he's starting to regret his decision to ask the girlfriend and the child to move in with him. I do understand where he's coming from. Sometimes your right is very wrong. We need to accept that. Let me repeat that. Sometimes you're right, it's wrong. You're doing right, wrong. I hope that makes more sense. You're doing right, wrong. just because sometimes when you're doing something right, it might not be a wise thing to do. Yeah, he did the right thing to provide a stable home for the child and be there for the girlfriend and whatnot, but perhaps it's not a wise thing to do. Maybe them staying together as a boyfriend and girlfriend, it's not a wise thing to do, because at the end of the day they are not married. Maybe in that manner it was going to create some boundaries. Who knows? Maybe it was going to provide some boundaries for them, that he'll be able to respect that this is a married couple's home. I'm saying maybe. The thing is, you just cannot negotiate with a stupid person. You just cannot. That's the sad part about it. But otherwise, him and her staying together as a boyfriend and girlfriend, I do not advise it. And man, like, this baby date is just full of it already. I think I once heard that baby daddy and baby mamas tend to have this unclear boundaries with each other, pertaining to their when they have other relationships, like when, let's say, I'm someone's baby mama and I'm in a relationship with this man. So the problem is that this kind, me, I tend to open a door for my baby daddy to come in and therefore disrespect the current man that I'm with. The blind thing, or what is blinding me, is that he's the father of my child. I share a child with him. Little that I forget that no, I need to place boundaries and I need to exercise them, so that he respects me, he respects the men that I'm with, he respects my relationship with this man, and therefore respect the child as well, and understand that this is the dynamics that we're having, as much as me and you were no longer together. So I think baby mamas and like people who share kids that they're not together, they also play a huge role in this misunderstanding, in this mess, because even here, I'm 100% sure that there is something that she can do to 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 fix this mess. You know what I mean? Okay, let's continue. My girlfriend, while understanding my concerns, tends to defend him, citing his long work hours. She feels obligated to allow him access to their son whenever possible. You see what I mean? Excuses after excuses, we make excuses for our baby daddies, which it's not a good thing. You are ruining a good thing because you want to provide for the father of your child, the man that you forget that he ruined a part of you at some point in life, or rather, he failed to provide a certain thing for you at some point in your life. So she tends to defend him. This is what I was talking about. That we leave a door open for our baby daddies to come and disrespect our current partners, which is not a good thing. So when she says this, how do you expect this man to be able, what is he supposed to think of? It's like you are disarming him. Like, what else is he to do? Because at the end of the day, he's going to resort to, you know what, I understand that your baby daddy is working and he's working long hours, and I understand that you share a child together that he has to see. So my solutions to this is that maybe you move back, so that this up and down, this mess that is happening, this disorder, you take care of it without me in my presence, because it's costing me my mental health. You know what I mean? And I bet she would not like that. So she needs to sit down with herself and figure out things, like as to what she wants, because this is not the way things should be. We need to respect each other here. I've I've even suggested that the child might be better off with his grandmother, as originally planned. All right. However, my girlfriend threatens to leave if I insisted. I know I'm not entirely wrong, but I'm starting to doubt my perspective. Perhaps there is something I'm missing. Yo, this traditional things of, like, back in the days they used to say, when I have a child, and then I go get married to another family, I leave my child behind and go start afresh. I leave the child with my mother. That thing really costed a lot of children out there who grew up with their grandmothers and not with and not get the love from their mothers because their mother had to go and pursue the new love, you know. So it's very detrimental, and I really understand that. Yeah, just to date someone who has a child, it might be challenging, but there's always a way and solutions. You know, I personally believe that every situation, every problem has a solution. Honestly, you just have to look for it. It don't present itself. You need to find the solution. So even this problem definitely has a solution. And her threatening to leave, I don't know what is this leaving. I don't know if leaving it's if my child is leaving, I'm living with my child, or leaving for her means the relationship is ending. Whatever that is, a threat is never a good thing to run a relationship with. It's never a good thing. Do not threaten your partner that should they insist on something, and I mean positive things. I mean like health things that will help the relationship to grow. I'm not talking about negative things that will sabotage a relationship. I'm not talking about those selfish desires. No, I'm not. I'm no. I'm not referring to those. I'm referring to good things that will benefit the both of us in a relationship, that will eventually help a relationship to grow. Now, those kind are the ones that I'm referring to, that once the other partner, their way of disagreeing, or rather their way of communicating their disagreement is threatening to leave, let's just leave it all together. Just go. You know, I think it's fair that way. That's just what I think. So I don't know what you think about this story. Anonymous is asking for your advice. What should he do? He's considering two things here, or maybe three. I'm not sure, because at the beginning he mentioned that he was considering, as much as he was regretting that the mother and the child moving with him, he's regretting that. He's also thinking that maybe the child should go stay with the grandmother, of which is something they once agreed, but now she's going back to her. She's no longer sticking to her word, you know. So let me know in the comment section. I don't know. I'm thinking about this other story. Oh, let me tell you real quick. There was this lady out there. She once shared that the moment her husband proposed to her while she has kids, she knew that he was a fool. So I don't know if baby mama is using this guy. I mean, why you not respecting the man? Come on, but let me not mess it up. If you found this story helpful, and if you have similar situation, or maybe you have an opinion around it, please let me know in the comment section what you think about it. And if you have not, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that I keep bringing more stories like this, that we continue to learn together. And also do share with others. Until then, stay blessed.